Mahalo everyone, and welcome to OJ Gaming Channel. You're with me, Joe, and we're coming at you with a new Harpy Lady deck for 2021. So this is going to involve a lot of the new Harpy cards. It's an archetype we very much like. They like to swarm the field in big numbers. And what I like about the way they've designed it is that they're still keeping Harpy Lady Sisters, the original card from Metal Raiders, the second set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Involved. So we've got a 40 card deck for you right here, and it mostly sticks to that Harpy Lady theme. So our main monster in terms of a boss and a beta is Harpy's Pet Dragon. You don't really bring that out that much. To be honest, the main cards in the deck are the brand new 4-stars. Things like Harpy's Harpist, Harpy's Oracle, Harpy's Perfumer, and Harpy's Channeler, and I'll go through with you what they do in turn. So the Harpist basically allows you to return win monsters to the hand, and there are card effects that work really well in terms of the spell cards when that effect occurs, and it also helps you adding wing beasts from your deck to your hand. So yeah, it's kind of a floater and a bouncer too in terms of getting other effects off. Harpy's Perfumer, like, you can get an outrageous amount of draw off this. It is a tiny bit slow because all of it kind of happens like later on, but you can get up to 2 Harpy themed spell cards, and as you'll see, the spell cards are really key to the deck. So great card there. So the Oracle works kind of best if you've got a Harpy Lady Sisters on the field. Then you're able to bring out the Oracle straight away, and then you can recycle some of these amazing spell and trap cards. And lastly, the Channeler lets you kind of discard and get rid of some of your Harpies to just get anyone from your deck into the defense position. And it works kind of nicely with Harpy's Pet Dragon too, if you're so inclined. So we've got 2 copies of the Harpy Lady Sisters in here. So if you've got any of these Harpies on the field, their name will be treated as Harpy Lady, except for the Channeler. If you've got that in the case, then you can use Elegant Egotist to special summon Harpy Lady Sisters from the deck, and you can quickly swarm the board that way. Harpy Lady 1 and Cyber Harpy Lady are in there as kind of your base Harpy Ladies, but the other 4-stars are the main ones. And we've got a copy of Ash in there to kind of fill out the 20 monster zone. So for our spells, we've got 2 copies of the Field Spell Hunting Ground, and the main thing about this is that it can destroy a spell or trap if you summon a Harpy, so you want to be playing this first, special summoning a bunch of Harpies, and hopefully popping any spells or traps the opponent has. Elegant Egotist we talked about, brilliant card again from Metal Raiders, and when nearly any of your monsters on the field, you're able to bring out another one from your deck. So Hysteric Sign is one of those cards that let you grab the Elegant Egotist, and it also has an amazing effect upon the ending of your turn. So it takes a turn to set up this deck, but if you are allowed that time, if you give yourself that time, which in modern Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't happen too much, but it can happen. If this card's destroyed, then you get 3 Harpy cards from your deck straight to your hand, so you can really just adapt to your situation if you're under the cosh. Alluring Mirror Split is like the Amazoness, whatever it is, the Amazoness field spell. Essentially, if it's destroyed, you can bring a different Harpy to the field. It's quite nice if you can, get off that effect multiple times. We've got Divine Wind of the Mist Valley and Harpy's Feather Duster, because Harpy's Feather Duster actually fits the theme, which is nice, but they're both like super great cards. And a card Ollie and I were talking about a fair bit, whether to include, whether to not, Phalanx Pike. This is a really interesting card. So it gains your equipped monster, gains 900 attack for each monster of the same name, and a fair few of these Harpy Ladies, so like Oracle, I believe Harpist does it too, yes, they become Harpy Lady when they're in the graveyard, so you can have 9 monsters with the same name in your graveyard. That's a whopping attack boost that can come your way from a simple 4-star, and an equip spell. So it's kind of an interesting a little tech choice there. For the traps, we have Harpy's Featherstorm. This is pretty nice in terms of negating monster effects. We've also got an Infinite Impermanence in there. for doing that role. Solemn Strike again negates negates summons, general kind of counter trap, and our two kind of themed traps. Other than the Feather Storm, are Icarus Attack, so it's a 2-for-2 removal, and Hysteric Party, which is a discard one, and return from the different dimension all of your Harpy ladies from the graveyard. I mean, this was great when the original Wind structure deck came out. It's still great now. I mean, it's borderline broken, and always has been. And with the new cards, it just makes a really nice addition to the deck. For our extra deck, so the Cyber Slash Harpy Lady is a really interesting card because it's one of the few that I know in existence whereby you don't need a tuner to play it. Essentially, it's just like, meh, just use any Harpy. We're just going to ignore what synchros actually are and what they mean, because you can just use any Harpy Lady with this. And she's got her full kind of metal, I can't remember what that field spell, or that equip spell that my Valentine used. But yeah, looking like full deadly Harpy Lady there. The Pet Phantasmal Dragon, I'm not such a big fan of. I think if you've got the Harpies, I would keep them, to be honest. However, it does prevent your opponent from targeting them. Now, Simorgh, Bird of Kings, which can be made out of 2 wing beasts, made out of 2 plus monsters, but it needs to include a wing beast. That can kind of do that too. So any wing beast monster that it points to can't be targeted, so you're going to play that in your extra monster zone and play your Harpies to where it points to. So I think in terms of the non-targeting stuff, I would personally go for the Simorgh, because it also has that special summon effect, which the Phantasmal Dragon doesn't. There is stuff you can do with Phantasmal Dragon, which is why it's in there, but that would be my play first off. Harpy Conductor is interesting in terms of it being able to destroy spells and traps rather than Harpies being destroyed. And, there are card effects, obviously, such as Hysteric Sign, where you kind of want that to happen. So that's kind of a neat little way to trigger Hysteric Sign and generate a lot of advantage. We've got a couple of things in the side deck to consider. Harpy Lady Phoenix Formation, absolutely lovely card, both in terms of the anime series and in general. Just it has the ability to annihilate like life points and cards on the field. I really like it as a card. It's probably not one that will see consistent use or play, which is why it's on the side. But if you're going to play a bit more fun, a bit more sprightly, we've got that in there. We've got Toon Harpy Lady, Toon World, a bunch of the other kind of the elegant Harpy Lady type, more themed spells and traps are in the side deck. So if you want to explore those, if you want to have a bit of fun, I would say chuck those into your deck. And yeah, I think that is all that I need to cover. I hope you enjoyed this deck review, and hopefully we'll see some duels with this deck on this video or another video on the channel very soon. And yeah, loads more content coming up for you guys, so stay tuned to OJ Gaming Channel.